Hello YouTube viewers and random Robot Wars fans. Eruption is one of the most impressive machines ever constructed. They rose through the ranks of the live circuit and dominated the revival of Robot Wars. After standing up to the might of their deadliest opponent Carbide, they deservedly took the title of 10th Wars champion. And if you've ever wanted to own a model of this flipping awesome frenzy of a fighting robot, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Robot Wars Competitor Models. Build an Eruption. In order to build Eruption, you will need the following: some thin card, some scissors, a black marker, a ruler and black pen, yellow and red coloring pens, Crit stick, some black duct tape, some sellotape as well, and some white unlined paper, and finally these instructions, which can be found on my Patreon page for 72 pence. That's less than £1. So let's get started. First of all, if you're using a card box, slice it open along the side using your scissors and open out the box. Then carefully draw the instructions out onto the card. Once you've done that, you'll have something that looks like this, and as you can see, you can add various bits of detail onto each section at this point too. Next, cover the entirety of the panels with sellotape. This will keep the model from rotting away and help it to look more metallic, and cover the back of the card with some black duct tape. This is going to help reinforce the model and cover up the packaging designs too. Then cut out all of the pieces, and as you can see, they look nice and glossy on one side, while the duct tape helps provide them with strength to take a few knocks during play. And now it's time to put the model together. Start by taping the central support to the base, just at the point where the angles of the front section begin. Then add both the lower side panels, which are attached to the central support, and to the base. Next, tape the inner front wedge supports to each side using the lines on the central support as a guide. Try to keep them as parallel as possible, and secure them with duct tape to add further support. At this point, you can also cut 2 slits on each side of the central support and bend the card back to allow some room for the flipper. Now add the top panels, which are taped to the lower sides and the central support. Then tape the back panel to the bottom of the base and fold across the indicated line on the instructions to bend it. Bring this up and attach it to the lower and upper side panels. Both of the triangular front panels can then be attached to each side of the base and folded upward and taped to the inner front supports and central support. And now you can really see Eruption beginning to take shape. Next is the flipper panel, which is bent along the indicated line on the instructions. Take some thick card and double it up while slightly bending it, then wrap it in duct tape. This will be the inner support for the flipper and help to reinforce it and keep its shape. Attach this to the underside of the flipper, leaving a gap just under the angled bend of the panel, and you can see just how resilient this makes the flipper. Tape this onto the back of the rear panel using sellotape to create a sort of hinge which allows it to move freely. Then take a small cylindrical stick, such as a lollipop handle, or in this case an earbud, and wrap it in some duct tape. This can be slid into the gap on the flipper and cut down to size, then taped into place. This provides a lever for the flipper to be fired during play. Now it's time to add some decorations, starting with the red fins, which can be drawn onto the card with some black sections added to the bottom, while on the underside some paper can be glued on and also coloured in red. Once they have been cut out, fold the black sections at a 90-degree angle, which will help you to attach them to the model. Add on the top decorative panels over the top panels and tape the fins over them, as well as adding those black armour pieces to the front wedge with Eruption written on them, and your Eruption model will be complete. And here it is! This was a surprisingly tough build. It was difficult to get the angles and shape of the machine correct. It hadn't occurred to me just how wide the base was, as it looks so compact in real life and on TV. And this resulted in many prototype models being constructed before I could get the exact proportions of the machine correct and scale them down. The trickiest part was getting the shape of that central support column correct, as one mistake with that and the entire look of the model would go out the window, making it either too wide or too tall. Overall, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. The design looks very close to the real robot, and the reinforced flipper is quite powerful, which was another big worry, as it's not one straight panel and has a bend in it, which could severely limit its flipping ability, hence that reinforced brace on the underside. I rarely build these models to scale, so comparing it with the other two models I've made from the revived series so far, Apollo and Carbide, you can see how disproportionate they are. But if you want Eruption to be in scale, try knocking a few centimeters off of my original plans. Speaking of which, if you are planning on giving this a go, please do let me know how well it went. Leave a comment or make a video or post it to the unofficial Robot Wars page on Facebook. The instructions are available on my Patreon page. For just 72p per month, you'll really help out my channel and receive some bonus content too. If you're new, please hit subscribe for some more videos and click the bell icon for notifications, and keep up to date with my upcoming reviews by following me on all of my social media pages. There's links to everything in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.